We're delighted to be joined at Qissa today by Mbolatiana Raveloarimisa, a feminist activist for social justice and human rights. Mbo is also the co-founder of Nifin'Akanga, a movement for the decriminalisation of abortion in Madagascar.
Thank you so much for joining us at Qissa, Bo. So Nifin'Akanga is a pro-choice feminist movement for the decriminalisation of abortion in Madagascar, and you are one of the founders, so we're delighted to be speaking with you today. So the primary goal of Nifin'Akanga is to change the legislation to make abortion legal within Madagascar. Could you describe to us a little bit about what the situation is like in the country at the moment? What's the laws around abortion?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me for this exchange. And it's a very good pleasure for our movement to talk. Yeah, in Madagascar, things are pretty not good. We talk about law because now the Malagasy Code Penal, the penal code, which is the copy-paste of the Napoleon code of 1810, prohibits the abortion in all cases. That means that even the pregnancy will kill the lady. We can do nothing. Also, that means that the doctors can save lives and do their job correctly. There is, how to say that, like contradiction in the laws in Madagascar, because, you know, when, for example, when the doctors do abortion to save the life of the woman, he can be jailed because it's forbidden. But in the other hand, if the doctor lets the lady die, he will be also in jail because it is like non-assisting person in danger of death. So this is the mix now, and we think it's time to move and to make justice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that sounds like a kind of lose-lose situation at the moment. So hopefully you're on to a win-win situation soon. Obviously, I know that you're doing great work. Could you tell us a little bit about your own personal journey? And I imagine the journey, your journey is quite interlinked to that of Nifin'Akanga. Like, what was the motivation behind starting it? What was the kind of spark? And what have the steps been so far?
Yeah, I think personally I am feminist from the womb of my mother. So it's a long history because, you know, normally in Madagascar, we have the name of our father. But me, I didn't have this opportunity, let's say like this, because my father wanted a boy. And when I was with my mom at the hospital, people told him it's a girl, so he disappeared because I'm a girl. So that's why my mother called me with the two names of my grandma, and she called me Mbolatiana, which means in English always loved, even I am a girl. So I think it's a personal history like this, saying that even I am a girl, I am a woman, I have the right to be, just to be. And after in December 2017, the Senate about safe abortion. And as I'm a chroniqueur, I wrote a paper, and at the same time, another woman called Qissa, which is now the president of the movement, do quite the same paper. And I saw the paper, I say, whoa, I'm not the only one shocked about this situation, about forbidding to the woman the right to have their own body. So we talked together and we said, it's time now to move, and it's time to claim the justice. And that's why we found it together with another doctors, Luvatina and the movement called Nifin'Akanga.
That's amazing. That's so such a nice kind of sentiment from your mum to name you after the two grandmothers as well. That's really beautiful, and I'm glad. Obviously, you've got such a strong team around you. So as you know, Qissa is about storytelling and it's about platforming voices from around the world. And I was looking at some of the past projects that Nifin'Akanga has done. And I saw that it included compiling stories and making documentaries and radio production. So what do you believe it is about stories that make them so important to fighting social injustice?
Yeah, we use stories. For example, soap operas or radio soap opera. It's really important for us that people who heard the story saying it might be me, it might be my girl, it might be my mom, because when the people saw them in the story, it touched them.
Yeah,
it's not a scientific things that with data. It just hear the story, be in the place of the actors, and what will you do if you were in this place? And in Madagascar, radios have a very big power, because even in town, even at the rural areas, it's like a tradition to at evening and at night and in the morning listening to these soap operas. So we think that the power of storytelling is a change-making way to have something big, like changing a law, possible and tangible for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, that's something we massively agree with at Qissa as well. So another of Nifin'Akanga's goals is to end violence against women. Could you tell us what that looks like at the moment, what you're campaigning for and what the action is?
Yeah, so for us, there's multiple face of violence. We generally talk about violence at home, violence in the society, but we want also to put in the talk of the society the violence made by the state, made by this law, made by this general hypocrisy, made by little things, but which are really violent in the everyday life of mother. For example, in Madagascar, single mother is not considered as a family, even she has 3-4 kids. To be accepted as a family, we must have a male.
Okay, yeah.
So if I, for example, I'm a single mom because my husband go, I have to write my kids to my dads to be recognized as a family. For us, it's a violence, because even if I do the work of mom, of the chief of the family every day, it's like we need the patriarchy to say that I'm a good mother to be a family. These kinds of things, we have to change it. And that's why we now collect data about if people knows that these are violence first, and we do mass communication about it, about what kind of systemic violence, what kind of patriarchal violence existing in Madagascar. Because when people don't know it is a violence, it's like natural.
Yeah.
And we also want people to say that it is not, that feminism is not just a question of woman. It must be a feminism where we have the other gender.
Yeah.
Because we can't do a revolution just ladies here, male here, and the others there, but it must be together, because this violence touch your sister, your wife, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So we focus our campaign in this, including everybody in the problem that that girls, that women can have in their everyday life.
Yeah, so it needs to be addressed on a society level, as
Yeah.
well within the home. Yeah, that's very important. So I'll wrap it up now. So I read an article where you were quoted as saying that we can all be agents of change, and that's something that we definitely champion at Qissa. Do you have any advice for women who might be looking to take their first steps into activism and social justice?
Oh yeah, I saw somewhere a quote saying, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. So we don't have to be a superhero, or I don't know, but if in your everyday life you do little steps to change things, you are an activist.
Yeah.
Just stand, do as you can, and the best you can, things to change the everyday life of every woman, every girl in your family, in your country, in your region, in Africa, in the world.
Amazing. I think that's a very strong, inspirational note to end on. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, Mbo. We're really, really grateful. For everyone watching, please check out Nifin'Akanga's website to read more about the amazing work that they're doing and how you can support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.